Let's talk about India's response. So, for the first few hours,
Yeah.
it wasn't even deemed a terror attack. It was Amit Shah, I think, the Home Minister, had a late night press conference where he said all angles are being probed. You initially instantly knew because of your experience. Even I had an inkling because I covered the arrest earlier in the day, and in my head it was like, it can't be that, it's just too much of a coincidence for this to happen just a few hours after what the arrest that happened with that amount of haul. But for the last number of people, it was probably either a CNG plus or something of that sort. It's only next day in the morning when Delhi police said that we've registered a case under UAPA, that it was classified a terror attack, and then you had all this information coming in linking the supposed driver, Dr. Umar. I think I misnamed him earlier, so it's Dr. Umar, to the Faridabad module and stuff like that. You've had the PM making a comment on it, again, very interestingly making a English comment on it when he was in Bhutan.
Right.
Put out an English statement, just like he did after the Pahalgam terror attack when he was in Bihar. He put out an English statement in the middle of his speech. You've had Rajnath Singh talking about it, but you haven't had the statements of the sort that you've had after Pahalgam, after Pulwama, because unlike with Pahalgam, unlike with Pulwama, unlike with 26/11, you haven't made that immediate, direct, overt association with Pakistan. Right? With 26/11, you had people literally coming from there. With Pulwama, you had lots of investigative evidence pointing to the RDX chain, for example. Pahalgam also, you knew people came from there. Here, like we discussed, it's a bit more complex. These are people who were born in Jammu and Kashmir. These are people who've been involved with other citizens of India. So India has not yet directly blamed Pakistan, but you have police officials telling media that there's a Jaish link to this module. Why do you think is this the case?
Well, I go back to what Prime Minister Modi said on the 12th of May when he made that famous speech putting out India's red lines, where he said that every attack against India would be construed a terror attack. The fact that there would be no distinction between non-state and state actors, and nuclear blackmail would not be tolerated. So this point about every attack, every terror attack being construed as an attack on India is a very important statement, and thereby it basically says that India will have to respond to a terror attack through force. Now, how do you distinguish a terror attack of the magnitude that would determine a response? So you have to be careful about that. And I think that is what the government has been doing to see the extent of this terror attack. What is the kind of plan that they had? Did they actually carry out the plan? Did we preempt them? And I think the sense that I'm getting is that this attack was actually preempted. They preempted the terrorist module before they could actually carry out that attack. And as they say, with all preventive action, it is that one goal that you will be remembered for, that you missed, but all the other saves would all be forgotten. And in this case, it's a bit of a gray area. You got hold of the module before they could do large-scale damage. One of those guys got away, and he triggered off a blast. We don't know exactly how. It's 9 individuals. It's terrible what happened. Even that should not have happened. But does that warrant a response from India? I think that is what the political leadership must be thinking right now. And the silence about this is exactly what you mentioned, is they are assessing the whole story. Figuring out whether there was a clear link between Jaish and this module. What was their plans? Who was in the loop? What did they plan to strike at? And if so, what would be the thing? And that would determine our response. So I think they're being very measured in how they respond to this. There's not going to be any, quick, instant action on that based on this, what we've seen so far.